Welcome to the Haunted Quill. Thor woke up in his grand hall, Bilskirnir, to a startling discovery. Mjolnir, his enchanted hammer and the most powerful weapon in Asgard, was missing. This hammer, forged by the dwarves and imbued with incredible power, was vital to protecting Asgard from external threats, and its loss struck fear and anger into Thor's heart. His fury erupted like a storm, his voice echoing through the golden halls as he roared for Loki, the god of mischief. Thor suspected Loki's involvement, given his history of tricks and schemes, but also knew Loki's cunning mind could help uncover the thief if he wasn't the perpetrator. Loki arrived with a sly smile, intrigued by the chaos. Though mischief was his nature, Loki was genuinely curious about who dared to steal from Thor. Assuring Thor of his innocence, Loki proposed that he would help uncover the thief's identity and recover Mjolnir. Loki, knowing that speed and stealth were required, requested Freya's magical feathered cloak, which allowed its wearer to transform into a falcon and travel swiftly across realms. Reluctantly, Thor agreed, and together they approached Freya for her assistance. Freya, radiant with her Brisingamen necklace, glowing softly around her neck, listened to their plea. Though she was hesitant to lend her prized cloak, understanding the dire circumstances, she handed it over with a stern warning to Loki. The cloak must be returned unharmed. Loki transformed into a falcon and soared high above the clouds, scanning the 9 realms for signs of the missing hammer. His sharp eyes and clever instincts led him to Jotunheim, the icy realm of the frost giants. Upon arriving in Jotunheim, Loki encountered Thrym, the frost giant king, a massive figure with an icy beard that glistened like frozen waterfalls. Thrym exuded confidence, his booming laughter shaking the frosty ground as Loki cautiously approached him. Loki, adopting a respectful tone, inquired about Mjolnir's whereabouts, suspecting Thrym's involvement. The frost giant did not deny the accusation. Instead, he laughed heartily and admitted that he had hidden the hammer 8 leagues beneath the earth, where no god could retrieve it. When Loki pressed him for the reason behind the theft, Thrym revealed his audacious demand. He desired Freya, the goddess of beauty, as his bride. Only in exchange for her hand in marriage would he return the mighty hammer. Loki, hiding his frustration, promised to convey the message to Asgard. With a final glance at the frost giant's icy kingdom, Loki spread his wings and flew back to deliver the troubling news to Thor and the other gods. In Asgard, Loki's revelation caused an uproar. The gods were outraged at Thrym's boldness, and Freya herself was furious. She declared that she would never marry a frost giant, no matter the consequences. Thor, equally incensed, insisted that they must retrieve Mjolnir at all costs. Without it, Asgard was vulnerable to attack, and Thor's honor was at stake. The gods debated various strategies, but none seemed feasible against Thrym's demand. Loki, with his trademark grin, suggested an outlandish plan. Thor should disguise himself as Freya and go to Jotunheim as the bride. The absurdity of the idea caused a mix of laughter and disbelief among the gods. Thor flatly refused at first, his pride wounded by the mere suggestion. However, as Loki elaborated on the plan's cleverness and the lack of alternatives, Thor grudgingly agreed, realizing it was the only way to retrieve Mjolnir. The gods prepared Thor for his unusual role. Freya reluctantly lent him her finest bridal gown, along with a veil to cover his face. To complete the disguise, they adorned Thor with sparkling jewels and a golden belt. Despite their efforts, Thor's muscular frame and fiery demeanor made for a most peculiar bride. Loki, ever the shapeshifter, transformed himself into a handmaiden to accompany Thor on the journey. Together, they set out for Jotunheim, riding in a chariot pulled by Thor's goats, Tangrisnir and Tangnjostrin. The frost giant's hall was grand and cold, decorated with icy splendor for the wedding feast. Thrym, eager and unsuspecting, welcomed his bride with open arms, his laughter booming as he gazed upon Thor in disguise. Thor, struggling to suppress his anger, remained silent while Loki did most of the talking. Loki explained that the bride was shy and overwhelmed by the occasion, which appeased Thrym's curiosity about her reserved demeanor. During the feast, Thor's voracious appetite became a challenge to his disguise. He devoured entire oxen, heaps of fish, and barrels of mead, astonishing Thrym with the bride's unusual appetite. When Thrym questioned this behavior, Loki quickly intervened, explaining that the bride had fasted for 8 days in excitement for the wedding, which satisfied the frost giant's curiosity. Finally, the time came for the ceremonial blessing of the union. Thrym ordered Mjolnir to be brought forth and placed in the bride's lap, as was customary in their rituals. The moment Thor felt the familiar weight of Mjolnir in his hands, he threw off his disguise. Rising to his full height, he glared at Thrym, his eyes blazing with fury. "Foolish giant!" Thor bellowed, his voice like thunder shaking the hall. "Did you truly believe you could steal from the gods and escape unscathed?" The frost giant's joy turned to terror as Thor raised Mjolnir high. The hammer crackled with divine energy, and Thor unleashed his wrath upon Thrym and his kin. Lightning struck the icy walls of the hall, and thunder roared as Thor smashed through the frost giants, reclaiming his honor and restoring balance to the realms. Loki watched with satisfaction and amusement, marveling at how his cunning plan had come to fruition. With the giants defeated and Mjolnir secure once more, Thor and Loki returned to Asgard, where they were greeted with cheers and relief. Freya, who had anxiously awaited their return, reclaimed her feathered cloak and thanked them for their efforts, though she made it clear she never wanted to lend her cloak again. The gods held a feast to celebrate Thor's victory, recounting the tale of his unusual adventure and the clever scheme that led to success. Despite his earlier protests, Thor couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of his disguise, though he vowed never to wear a bridal gown again. Loki, ever the storyteller, took great delight in embellishing the details, ensuring the tale would be remembered for generations. The frost giants, now fearful of Thor's power, retreated into their icy strongholds, vowing never to provoke Asgard again. Odin the Allfather praised Thor and Loki for their resourcefulness, acknowledging that their unique combination of strength and wit had saved the day. Thor's bond with Loki, though often strained by their contrasting personalities, deepened as they shared a rare moment of camaraderie. Asgard returned to its peaceful state, with Mjolnir once again serving as the gods' ultimate weapon of protection. The story of the stolen hammer spread across the 9 realms, inspiring songs, poems, and sagas among gods and mortals alike. Loki, perched on a high ledge, mused about his next adventure, knowing life in Asgard would never be dull as long as he was around. Freya resumed her role as the goddess of love and beauty, her laughter and grace restoring a sense of balance to Asgard's halls. Thor's vigilance increased, and he swore never to let Mjolnir out of his sight again, recognizing its irreplaceable importance. Asgard's golden halls shone brighter, a testament to the gods' resilience and unity in the face of adversity. The frost of Jotunheim remained a symbol of the giants' defeat, a cautionary tale about underestimating the gods of Asgard. The mortals of Midgard heard the tale and found inspiration in the gods' courage and ingenuity, strengthening their faith in the Aesir. Thor's strength and Loki's cleverness became legendary, showcasing how even the most unlikely allies could achieve greatness together. The tale became a reminder of the value of trust, cooperation, and determination in overcoming challenges. Asgard's gods continued their roles as protectors of the realms, knowing that every victory strengthened their legacy. Loki, despite his trickster nature, proved that his wit and mischief could be forces for good when wielded wisely. Thor's pride remained intact as his bravery and strength ultimately restored Mjolnir to its rightful place. The 9 realms slept peacefully, their harmony preserved by the gods' intervention. Thor and Loki's adventure became a favorite story among the Aesir, retold around fires and in the halls of Valhalla. Thus, the tale of the stolen hammer became immortal, a saga of strength, wit, and the unbreakable bond of Asgard's gods.